lot of questions there about copying in English as well, but questions that we won't answer for a while because, Brandon, we're jumping into the first map of this series between G2 OYA and the lovely Angels, and it is Anubis. We were tricked by the graphic originally, but it is indeed the lovely Egyptian-themed map that we all enjoy, the best addition to the map pool in years.
Yeah, this is my favorite. Fast play for G2 out middle. There's 4 players about to swing. Mio. Oh, it's fantastic. zAAz already removed.
They're looking to pressure her, though. Swinging on through with the Glocks. The gush from Giuliano is going to force Mio all the way back. There's a double push, though, and they're just holding. Ayaka's tucked on in here with the teammate Ulis by her side. Ulis has been baited in with the dualies. Cressy swinging with the bomb and is going for an awkward fight. Kios is there to bail her out. G2 lost that initial engagement, but have won every single one since. Margot and Katherine now in a 2v4. Cressy is the low, as mentioned, but finding the bomb. So many players to get past, and we're running around the corner. Kios is there for that first frag. Katherine, so many bodies. They all swing onto her. G2 pick up the pistol.
Yeah, that's a really nice pistol round from G2, because what you're doing is you're applying pressure in middle, and when the kills come your way and you start splitting onto A, the defenders feel like they need to take space beyond the bomb site. So they'll vacate, they'll hang on, and they'll push past into A main. And that's where you've got your second wave of players holding. It's a complete crunch. And it works out absolutely perfectly. G2 will secure.
Yeah, off the back of it is going to be the full eco from Angels. 50-50. It's Mio. That's it. And they're stacking B, which is not where this exploratory party is going out to A. So this one's going to be very boring, Brandon. I don't know what to say. We're just going to wait until Angels decide to budge.
That's fine. Patience is key. Kiosa will find Ayaka. Yeah, now we've got a wrap coming in from top mid, but the bomb's already locked up in towards A. And this should just be an easy cleanup. There's not really too much to say about this round. It's literally just USPs. But what it does mean is that Angels can invest one round earlier. Now we're going to see M4s. Now we're going to see a couple of PC utilities sprinkled in for good measure. But also, that means that the buy inherently is going to be better for that CT side.
Yeah, I mean, the good news there, it's an interesting one, right? So, first of all, they had 1 MAC-10. They put 4 rifles into that, 3 of them AKs as well, which is kind of crazy. You don't often see 3 AKs coming out. The MAC-10 didn't get any of the kills. It was all the rifles. But because no one died, they have so much utility behind 3 AKs, and a Galil is actually quite good. And they're going fast. Manka running in first with that MAC-10. Krass is going to get the initial contact, and it's a good trade onto Ulis as well. Giuliano taking a fight in mid. This round might be over before it even gets a chance to begin. The rush into B is successful for G2.
That's fantastic. There's 2 things here for G2 that just kind of breed success, right? You've got a fast play where you've got SMGs and you know you're going up against a better buy. You know the investment has just come in for the Angels, so you unsettle them immediately. Secondly, what was really cool is a smoke was thrown basically off spawn. It landed in towards dark, and it completely smokes off that entrance. That means G2, when they funnel in, they can actually create more of an arc when they entry over, and that means their trade spacing could be a lot more efficient. It kind of compares and contrasts it to the A-bomb site, in which you'll see a lot of professional teams go more over towards that A-bomb site because it's easier to kind of execute out, because you can kind of funnel out the choke point in an arc rather than just in a straight line.
A lovely breakdown, Brandon.
Thank you.
She saved weapons. Come on over. M4A1S and MP9 around some pistols. At least a bit of armor on Mio and Margot, so if Katherine or ayaka gets active, can take one of these fights early, get themselves a frag, and pick up maybe a rifle, something else that can be juggled over.
Do you reckon it's Mio or meow?
There's no W.
That's fine.
Meow. Meow. Yeah. Well, maybe we can ask if they win and we get a chance to interview. We'll see. Giuliano lurking out towards A. It's a nice little smoke, and look what it's done. It's brought 2 more players over here. She has gone down, and so we're in that situation when the smoke fades, I'll be able to pick up that rifle that she had, but it's going to mean very little if this hit comes through fast. zAAz with a very quick headshot onto Margot, jumps up onto the platform for the follow-up. That is the B site taken. Bomb can be planted. Katherine might give it a little bit of a squiz. Put some eyes on it. See if anyone's pushed up close that she can take on down. But again, they're just going to be holding on to what they've got here into the follow-up. So a lovely start here from G2.
Yeah, this is definitely worth a save from the CT side. But I like that. You just put a little bit of pressure in with the lurk smoke. That one's come into favor a lot more over the past couple of weeks because it allows the T side to kind of creep and crawl over towards pillar without being spotted. And you never really know. There's a lot of ambiguity of how many players are actually there. And because Angels, they're only working with a couple of rifles and the pistols, they're more likely to gamble stack over towards one site. Guess incorrectly, G2 continue the flawless streak.
Yeah, for a start, very good. Angels have everything they need into this one, though. Should see the AWP out onto Katherine as well. She has been instrumental on this team with that one. I think particularly on the T side as well. When we watched them play against Na'Vi, that was really where they did most of their work. They actually struggled a lot on the CT side. So I really like... I don't like that they picked CT because of that. And because T side is kind of where you want to be on Anubis these days, right?
Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, maybe the consideration was, well, we've been working on it over the past week. We've got a lot of demos. I'll hold this thought a second because this is really aggressive out of the Angels. zAAz might be aware that ayaka is here, but I'm not too sure how ready you're going to be. Firstly, for the Dark player, Margot just gets deleted. And Giuliano looks like she's on a swivel to deal with Ulis, but zAAz finds both. That is fantastic.
Completely scuppers that aggressive move from Angels there, where it's so powerful if you're able to get players up into those positions. But zAAz was just so aware. I'm not sure if Giuliano got a sound cue or something from her position to be able to read that, but yeah, well handled. They did lose Krasi. That was over towards B main. She peeked on through and found Katherine's AWP. And off the back of that, I think they're not too interested in that side of the map. They know that ayaka was over here. They've already found one player walking out from A main, so you can find this one, or maybe not. ayaka, 2 kills. They line on up a couple of headshots, looks for another. There's a lot of damage onto Manka, and it's made this round a lot more doable for Angels. They're on the fast rotate, and G2 aren't aware that the site was open. They've taken their time, and now in a bit of danger. Smoke is going to give some cover. A lot of damage done. Manka lucky to be alive, and so is Giuliano after that engagement. Has to be Katherine. 1 versus 2. They are so low that her sidearm would do the job. She doesn't know the HP, and a quick shot with the AWP strikes. Manka stuck behind the pillar with an AWP. Katherine has her number. Still has to make her way forward. Find her. Catch the timing, spots the hand, she wants the kill. Manka's not giving it to her. Katherine just running up around, has the kick, gets the kill, and that will be the defuse.
Yeah, that's a really nice clutch coming in from the Angels. There's, I think, a couple of mistakes made from G2 in the middle portion of that round, because look at how this started. Handled the aggression really well by zAAz, but what you don't see here in the replays is G2 OYA had so much utility. They group up. They could easily just pop a flashbang over the top. ayaka would have been fully blind. Crisis averted. She does impeccably well to hold for a multi-kill. And Katherine in for the clutch is absolutely fantastic. Well played and a well-deserved round for the Angels.
A 1v2 with the AWP against 2 players that had less than 20 HP, and both the kills go the way with the AWP.
It's a classic.
Doing it on hard mode. Doesn't matter. Another B hit. Straight out the gates. This one's been called from spawn. Ooh, Margot under trouble. Oh, look at all the flames. They're coating the site in fire. zAAz charging on forward. Ulis does catch her out though, and she's still fighting behind the obelisk. Another kill comes through, a reload, and reinforcements joining. Krasi gets one back. Katherine struck again. Margot is dealt with. Now they're just going to extract themselves. Giuliano's here, but a push comes through. The MP9 on the back of Ayaka has gotten up close and is tucked behind the boat. Giuliano, she's not falling for that one though. And again, 2 players on barely a slither of life in a 2v2.
There's a smoke to get across. Instead, it goes in towards glass. Katherine just holding and securing. Of course she does. Krasi thrown into the 1 versus 2. It's going to be very difficult. Knows where one player is, but the other unconfirmed. This Ulis pushing in. Close left angle. Shoulder spotted. Krasi secures. Going for the fight, but Ulis has just enough HP to secure it. That's now back-to-back rounds for the Angels.
Everyone's looking so sharp today. This is great. I thought for a second she had that 1v2 when she's pre-aiming the angle, but just couldn't quite adjust in time. Ulis with a fantastic hold on the side as well with that 2K. I mean, I like that G2 were able to extract themselves from that situation because that got scary. They were committed to the site take, but they fight their way out of it. Krasi almost pulls off the 1v2. Not going to beat. Those 4 rounds in a row still set them up with plenty for this one, though.
There aren't any flashbangs going in very deep over the top. It's hard to do on Anubis, and as a result, Ulis can just play around the obelisk. Normally, that's why you see grenades leading in. That's what G2 are trying to do, trying to disrupt right now. Ulis just jump spotting, trying to see if she can gather any sliver of information. And Katherine's posted here. There's a lot of reinforcement here on B for the Angels.
A lot of uncertainty, though, as everyone goes silent on the T side. They are grouping up for this hit. They have zAAz, who's going to be dealing with canals. Had to be cautious that a push wasn't going to come to A, so she was putting pressure there first. But now the hit comes on through. Ulis, a smoke deployed defensively, but Marco's fallen. Katherine has to swing on out and start taking fights, and she's 1-1. Has Ulis as well, but that's it. They both fall. That bomb's planted, and it's 2v3 and a very difficult retake. A kit in hand, a utility on Ayaka. She has everything she needs for this. They're all stacked up towards dark. The smoke goes towards main. And Sentry could do a lot of work if she's able to deploy it down towards dark. Anka's fighting around the obelisk. She knows that she's the one that has to take this first contact. The only player not stuck in towards dark. Taking the time clearing on through, and well, both kills come in quick succession for G2.
Again, all you have to do is commend the way that G2 execute that bomb site, because the utility this round is perfect. The smoke completely blocks Katherine off. She can't see anything. And then the flashbang catches the player that was sat glyph. I think it was Ulis. And as a result, they can completely isolate the fight on towards Margot. It's really smart target selection, the entry pathway for G2. And just when you think the retake's going to come in with some very precise utility, very deep retake smokes coming in for the Angels, it's just not enough. There's just too many bodies.
Angels now reset on the eco. And this one should be pretty easy. G2 to clean on up. Giuliano should get this one in a moment. That's going to be A site. There's for the taking. All right, well, Angels have already evened up the amount of CT rounds they got against Navi.
Yeah.
They went 2 for 12 on the CT side. Obviously, that was the second half, so that's the amount of rounds there was remaining. That's not just me being bad at maths.
No, you're good.
Not at maths, no.
Oh, no?
No, not at all.
Oh. 7 times 8.
Oh, see, I'm not good. 7 times 8. 56.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I class Counter-Strike. Not do anything that would involve thinking.
I'd say classic Counter-Strike involves thinking.
Yeah, it's a different type of thinking. Critical thinking.
You reckon?
Tactical thinking. Yeah, well, you know, I'm not out here doing equations, Brandon.
That's true.
Well, maybe I am. You've just put one on my face. On my face.
No, that was times table. That wasn't even an equation.
What's the difference?
An equation would have like letters in it, right? Like algebra.
You tell me, math man.
Mothman.
Equate these. All right, Mio. Taking fight in towards mid. zAAz is going to be making her way towards A. That bomb's hanging out here on the rugs. Ooh, where's the smoke going, Brandon? Quick.
Probably the doorway on A, or it's a deep one for middle.
Yeah, I want you to commit to an answer.
It looks deep mid. Haha.
All right.
That's nice.
Routed that one up nicely.
Thank you.
Is a hit onto A. It's a split, in fact, and Manka catches Mio with a grenade in her hand. A kill given for free. Ayaka, the only one on the site. She has to go huge. Has gotten one already, and that smoke has slowed things down, but they all swing at the same time. Too many targets. Giuliano drops her. Krazy comes to plant the bomb. Angels are locked out of this round. Katherine scoped out in the heavens, but no way through this. Would have to be gifted a kill. And it's the same story over towards Canals. They are actually looking like they're giving this a bit of a glance. A flash comes through. Giuliano gets in front of it, gets one of the frags, bit of damage onto Ulis, and plenty of information. Very least they can box them in here, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's a sweet smoke being thrown in, because normally what you see with these executes coming in from middle is you get the player where Giuliano is standing throwing actually a Molotov in towards the glass doorway. Some people are calling it camera now because there's a CCTV camera in mid. Yeah.
That would confuse the heck out of me if someone was like, there's one camera.
Yeah, right? It's glass. That's what I'm calling it.
People called me out for that because there's glass on the other side as well.
Yeah, but like that's temple side. Come on, guys.
Yeah. We're talking glass side.
Yeah.
Not glass temple side.
Exactly.
It's so simple.
Get it together,
So
everyone.
clear, just like glass. Hey, hey.
Aha.
Translucent. Krasi is 12 for 2 right now. Worth noting.
She's transcendent.
Ooh. Very nice. Angels. Maybe we need a bit of a change up. Some aggression could be the answer, and that's exactly it. Katherine pushing out A. Mia also catches Manka just spamming through the smoke in mid, so 2 kills go their way. Not really having to put too much into it. And, oh, that's a good timing on Krasi throwing that smoke. Wanted to dribble it by hand, and it is punished. Giuliano, oh, guess what? But a good trade from Katherine. Tracks her. She falls back through the smoke and is there to deal with Kyosa as well. The Angels get their third on the board, and they do it in pretty convincing fashion.
Yeah, good dynamic AWP in there from Katherine. And it's good that you brought up the fact that Angels need to get a little bit more aggressive. They need to search for these opening picks. This is why, in my opinion, Anubis is quite T-sided, because it's really difficult, alongside the long rotations, for the CTs to take initiative and try and find the opening kills, because there's so many angles that the T-side can occupy. And more often than not on the CT side, when you want to go as a pair. And that can often be a lot of delegation of resources. Fast one in towards B. It's the old reliable for G2 normally, and Kyosa deals with Ulis. Fantastic trade.
A lot of damage done onto her, but she is still alive here, barely. Dodging flames as she gets up towards the pillar. Bomb can be planted, and this is a retake you want to give a look in, particularly with Margot finding that kill. A smoke from main being deployed now as well. Krasi gets another kill. This followed by Katherine. zAAz and Kyosa now have to do it all. zAAZ tucked on in, gets that first kill, looking for the second, and they're dodging her, but she is finding them no matter what. Behind the pillar, swings on out. Ayaka brought down low, the Glock in her hands, and zAAZ gets it done with a triple.
That's ridiculous. That's zAAZ just on a pivot. Like a turret. Completely shutting Angels out of the round. And that's the first half won by G2 OYA. Look at this. It all starts with Ulis. She tries her best, but zAAZ
1v3 at this point.
2 people at once.
Dodging around that pillar, using it to perfection. All the experience on display. Knows how to handle herself in a clutch. That one hurts for Angels. That felt like it could have been theirs. Here's some aggression. Ulis is found a potential gap here, and zAAz was trying to equate for it, but no, can't do it. Willis gets both as well. Actually gets the second there is a little bit criminal. She'll be happy. Can fall on back, brought on low. Doesn't matter. The rest of G2 have to group up. They're going to hit B together.
And this is really forced, and the Angels know this because you've been shut down by the push out A. Katherine even finds Kiosa. This is awful in the part for G2. Shoulder spotted. Manka with the flash, not going to affect the AWP. And Katherine is thriving at the tail end of this first half. If Angels can recover and get 7 rounds or even 6, that is a very successful half on Anubis because we know how potent their T side is.
Yeah, honestly, I even think 5 might be enough for them based on what we saw before. But who can say, with Katherine shooting like this, I mean, it was the T side where she did so much work against Na'Vi. So it's great to see her getting off to a great start. So AWPing can be tricky on the CT side of Anubis just because of the rotation factor and how tricky it can be to catch the right timing. Be in the right place at the right time. She has been consistently now. And this one here, we like to call a half by Brandon.
We do. Got some utility.
Some pistols.
Yeah, techies, P2 fitties, flashies going over the top as well. G2 running through the fire and the flame. zAAz gets dealt with, but Manka does find Margot, and actually that's a way in. That's the bomb site conceded.
And Manka can get her hands on that weapon. That's big as well. She's the one with armor, actually. Crassie's picked it on up. These smokes are doing wonders. They have to go for this retake. This to be a criminal round to concede. Crassie's found another with the M4. Juggles it over. Giuliano's struck too. Ulias and Mio now in a 2v3. It's all now onto Mio. And it's Kiosa that comes on through. G2 still went away with just the Tech 9s. Rushing on through. Only one player had armor in that hit, but it didn't matter. They hit every single one of their shots.
And it's a really nice entry pathing as well because they're actually running through their own incendiary they've put down there. And that's the last thing you expect. And as a result, Ulis gets completely crunched upon. Margot can't find a thing in dark because I think she got smoked off. It was absolute chaos for Angels to try and contend with. And that's where the Pistols could go, oh, absolutely crazy. Giuliano, see you next round. Katherine's hit an absolute banger.
That's beautiful. Exacto mundo what the doctor ordered. This is a tricky one to jiggle from, I feel, because, like, if zAAz spots you and you throw this smoke down, like, I guess you're throwing it next to you, right, to play around?
Yes, yeah.
Rather than to slow down
you could
the approaching phase.
You could also right-click it on the left-hand side, and where zAAz is staring now, there's a little plank of wood, and you could stand behind it for a one-way.
Let's see. We're about to find out because the hit is coming through with smoke towards heaven. And yeah, this is a smoke deployed to the left-hand side to give some room to work with. Mio comes on down to support as well. Oh, the dink comes through, but it's not enough for the kill. Manka gets the follow-up. Katherine here with the AWP at the right time, though. Doesn't stop that bomb going down.
And Kiosa's ready and waiting for this flank. I've got utility. The flashbang's just not very effective. Kiosa tucks in, actually on a little bit of an off angle, but Margot clears and deals with Manka as well. Prezi now thrown into the 1 versus 3 and can't get past any of them. And also, I guess, to add a little bit of layer into that smoke, why it's also good if you drop it on the left-hand side is because G2 then can't really run to that side. They have to kind of funnel in, and the natural rotation point for Angels on the CT side is through that doorway. So they're going to walk straight into you.
Small details. It set Angels up for success there, and that was a huge retake as well. 3 people stayed alive, didn't even get scratched. Lovely stuff from Angels. G2 off the plat. They have enough into this last round. It's a little shaky. You got a Galil, a Mac 10 in the mix, but plenty of utility. So nothing too stressful about that. And it is 5 players heading over to A out the gate. Ulis is wanting to actually fight out as well. You can see those smokes have been deployed to enable her to get up, but Surely that telegraphs exactly what's going on, and zAAz has heard that hopping as she falls on back. I wonder if G2 will change their plans if they're still going to commit off this.
No, I think it's correct if they do commit back in. Because that's such an overcommitment on smokes. And where Angels didn't actually take the ground here, they might think it's a little bit safe. And that's exactly what's happened. Look at the rotate. It's a little bit of a gamble. Ayaka, this is clever. A slight pixel. Also, she can just see the smokes landed in now. Needs to find something, and she does. Perfect on towards zAAZ. The rotation is now here for the Angels. And Mio finds Manka. There will be one trade in the mix, but it's still the player advantage for Angels.
Katherine has to be huge here. Ayaka's stuck. She can't reload her weapon at the moment. It's stuck in the island. But oh, wow. She's able to actually pick up the M4 and find a kill off it. Krassi's walked on through, but she has to find everybody. 2 quick headshots, but not ready for Margot. Angels claw back 6 as the side switch. We'll see what they can do on their T side in just a moment.
Unsubscribed from your junk mail long ago. It's time. I'm sorry. I only trust about 3 people. And you ain't one of them. My apologies if I managed to hurt your fragile ego. Like I said, I'm the worst. I'm sorry, but you know what I'm not. I almost forgot. Oh. Control me, but you don't own me. So here's an idea. If you are gonna be salty, could you at least bring tequila? Don't, oh, no, don't tell me what to do. Yeah, you don't tell me how to think and live and be. No one like you. Thank God.
Late resurgence in the first half for the Angels has got me worried a little bit for G2 OYA, because we saw against Derby Javelins how good this T side was. How formidable now can this defense be for G2?
Yeah, I think it puts a lot of onus on these initial rounds for G2.
Onus? No, that's Ulis.
Ulis,
She's leading
hey.
the charge.
It is fast. This player's here to receive, though. Falling on back off that contact rotation is fast. All the utility, but they are ahead of it. Krassi's in the back lines as well. Picks off Neo. Ayaka now swinging on through, looking for this fight into Yossa. Does win it out. Manka, what a flick. That was absolutely unreal. And Ayaka now is left alone, gets one back, but that's going to be it. Krasi is there fast, and G2 were just there, everywhere.
That was such a sick shot. Coming in from A main. That got like a finger snap out of me. Like, you know, it's like, ooh.
A finger snap. Yeah,
You know what I mean? I can't really. I'm demonstrating on camera, but obviously no one can see me.
Yeah, that's not helping.
No. I'll do it when we come back.
All right, got an update. Big Keeper versus Team Spirit. It is currently 6-3. Bigger Keeper in the lead in that one, Brandon.
You told me the map pool is pretty cool for that one, right?
Yeah, Vertigo and Anubis Overpass.
Oh, that's similar here. That's the same here, actually. It's just different order. Because we got Anubis Overpass, Vertigo.
There you go. Teams that have good choices. Things I love to see.
Things Angels probably doesn't love to see. Being relegated to an eco after losing the pistol. Ayaka's got a game plan with her utility, though. Looks like it's going to be another one of these A hits, just maybe a little bit later on. zAAz will overwhelm Katherine. Comes at a little bit of a cost of her HP. And that's going to be the accelerator. They're all going to start to charge in now to A Angels.
It's not even a Lux. Is that a Lux smoke?
It's, yeah. But where it's thrown so far back, it can't dribble forward as far.
Oh, that nade is hefty. Krasi on cleanup duty here. Can't quite get the last one. Ayaka does get the better of her, but Manka is there to support. Gets 2 of those kills. G2 only lose 1, which I think is critical. Given what Angels controls on the T side, really important that G2 build up an early, strong economy so they can continue fighting these rounds. That's the perfect start that they hope for. Now all the AKs come out for the Angels.
That's both pistols won by G2 as well. Something to touch on, because Angels have saved in both the rounds prior. So it feels like you're winning 2 rounds instead for G2, and they all add up. But now we've got the AKs, now we've got the utility and the control. Look at Margot trying to get really aggressive in towards Dark. zAAz, cause for concern, drops the smoke immediately in her face.
Ouch, that one's in her face as well. Hefty HE forces her on back, doesn't want to stick around there in case another one comes on through. So she'll be thrown into mid, try and take control. Juliana slows it with her Molotov, and that's another smoke gifted over. zAAz to slow Dark on down. The Angels are okay with this. G2 is expending a lot of their utility in response to these early plays. Interested, A is very passive hold from Krasi. I'm interested to see how she changes that up as this progresses. At the moment, she's sitting all the way back behind the cake on side.
Well, it looks like you're going to get your wish, because Angels are going to be ending towards A. This is where, again, last week, most of the executes were really quite potent. So let's see how they measure up. Prezi is currently alone on an island, but that is a very well-timed smoke. Giuliano now looking to take control in towards mid, but Ulis is holding for this.
Krasi just sitting on the other side of the smoke, gets ahead of the flash, gets 1 kill, but the trade is immediate, and the rotations have so far to go. Ulis is still here as well, so she can catch off zAAz. She's brought down low, but wins out the engagement. And these 2 players not giving it a slight look in. Surely not. Unless a kill is presented itself on a silver platter, but nothing but bricks and clay here. So they're on their way out. And Angels get their first T round, and it's off the back of all of the AKs coming on in. First gun round goes their way.
Yeah, good stuff from Ulis. Getting that multi-kill, absolutely essential to carve out a pathway for the Angels to get onto that bomb site. And G2 know when to call it quits. Bring forward a couple of rifles to kind of bolster their chances for success in round number 19. But this is a really good opportunity for the Angels to, if they can survive this round, they break the economy of this CT side, and it gives them a real stable foothold in to be able to come back into the game.
Willis taking the contact. I think she was spotted there by Kios there on the jump. Throws that HE on forward. Angels very defaulty early on in these gun rounds, just spreading out, getting the control. Don't want to allow G2 to go for any of these aggressive pushes that we saw Angels start to employ with quite a lot of success towards the tail end of their half, where they were pushing out from A, getting aggressive. Flash through. zAAz dodges it, but the FAMAS does not win out against the AK. The opener goes the way of Angels, and Dark is now completely exposed.
Yeah, and there's also controlling towards middle. Utility set deployed in by the Angels to try and lock that one off Giuliano. It just means all her attention is just dedicated to this area of the map. Flashbangs through, it's going to be a B split, and that means that Kiosa and Manka really need to hold strong.
Yeah, anyone's here. Rotation's going to be a little while away. Giuliano is deep in towards mid, starts to get a move on. Manka mollied out from the back. That's a cool one off the back of the pillar there. Kiosa, though, has stood tall for that first kill, but they swing on out from the right-hand side. No smokes. And in fact, that actually works out for the T side. They just go for the contact and simply overwhelm. Better numbers, better guns, and it's an 8th round.
Yeah, and again, that's a fantastic little mid round coming in for the Angels, because where they have placed that utility down in towards mid, Giuliano never feels comfortable rotating because she's unaware, she's not too sure where the information and where the Angels truly are. And that's the added detail also of just not executing onto that bomb site there. If you go a little bit more contact, yes, you can throw a Molotov down, but you're not fully committing and leading with the utility. It's just that extra element of surprise. And you can tell that I think Manka was really caught off guard, wasn't ready, felt unsettled and disrupted by the Molotov landing in. And she was actually last player alive, but couldn't find any kills on the site.
Now it's the full eco for G2. Angels slowly closing that distance. Manka's keeping a bit of extra cash, so we'll get to see that all come out on the squad. And, oh, an interesting little update just while we have this little pistol round coming through. Just because we're so, I guess after this week, we've only got a couple of weeks left, right? Actually, hold that. They found this kill, so maybe there is something to this.
Maybe, but again, it's USPs and Manka with the sole AK. And there's a consideration to maybe save this AK, but instead, G2, they're going to funnel in all through heaven, lead with the USPs, and let the AK try and change out.
All right, give it a go. Mio's got a good ankle, though. Gets two. Margot has got heaven locked on in, and okay, yep. That was always going to be tricky. And the OKs are already posted up, but... before we jump into this buy round here, a little update. Because of where G2 sit within this group at the moment and how well Na'Vi and 9 Pandas are sitting, if G2 win this, it would prevent both Angels and the Flame Shell Maidens from getting enough wins to make it to playoffs. So There's actually a huge amount on the line here for Angels. Elimination. Well, not elimination. I guess elimination, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still playing, but,
to an extent, yeah.
Yeah, it's elimination.
It removes you from ever having the possibility of making it further in the competition. Wow, that's rough. I didn't realize we were like that already. Week 3 Impact, we savage.
Absolutely. Catherine's got the AWP out early. She took a bit of damage. Her initial engagement. But she's yet to strike on this T side at all, so interested to see how she can make it work. She's throwing a deep smoke out. That's another one in towards mid. Giuliano is in front of it at the moment. Running a sole mid defender on the CT side. Interesting to see the different setups that teams run here. I guess you can got the fast rotation from Krasi to support if need be. This is all just pressure to keep Giuliano invested while there's a hit getting ready. A split onto A, rearing its ugly head. Giuliano spots out one. Manka is here with that AWP tucked on in. Just two players here about to be wedged by 5.
Yeah, Manka really needs to hold strong so Giuliano can just focus her efforts on middle. Flashbangs rain in. Manka deals with one, but another player has escaped. Ayaka's already at the pillar, but Manka's holding for it. Is she got potentially is that they overwhelm from middle. Manka gets 2 kills. Cressy with another. It's still a 2 versus 2. This one's on.
Absolutely. Mio's gotten up very deep though, and Cressy is so low, so it has to be zAAZ. She's the one pushing up towards the heavens here. A critical fight here. Mio wins it out. And Cressy, with such little HP, it has to be perfect. Spots out the first player, but it's a hard fight. And there's the swing from Katherine with that AWP. Angels now within 1 round of evening things up.
I'm actually quite impressed with the fundamentals there from the Angels, especially in that after plant situation. The positioning from their players. One in towards heaven. I can't quite recall who it was, to be honest, but whoever was in there, that was fantastic because you set yourself up on such a weird little off angle. You're not exposed from middle, and the last thing that zAAZ expects is to be cleared instantly as she just arrives in the doorway. And it's just even that little push and pull effect right at the end, right? Just the jiggles. It was cool.
Yeah, I wanted to ask how much Manka was opping in the opening week when you watched her.
It was solely Giuliano.
Okay, yeah, I was interested because Manka obviously had it that time around, right?
I think Manka was secondary open off the top of my head. I can't quite remember, but it makes sense to honestly have your AWP out towards A. Because then it allows your mid players to be a lot more flexible on the rifle, especially where in that round, Giuliano was the sole mid defender. Because it just means that she can maneuver herself about a little bit more. Because if she takes one shot on the AWP and misses, she'll then have to fall back and concede all the mid control. Whereas if she's on the rifle, I don't know, there's more potential there, I think.
Yeah, it makes sense. And well, Manka got a double kill from a very difficult position as well. So obviously very capable hands. 11-11. This is the picture starting to paint at the start of this, just how important it was for G2 to get a very good T side, just because we know how good Angels were against Na'Vi on this map. Gets very scary now for G2.
See, now sorry, go on.
Not to say they might get some exits here if they have, because they have to run out, or are they safe?
They're safe there. The only difficulty potentially would be Ulis and Ayaka. No, she's fine.
Wow.
Yeah, the bomb radius.
That's
we've been placeboed by Inferno and Ancient, right?
Yeah, I think so.
No, the Anubis pill. It's the bomb radiuses are quite small. You're good. You survive. It's similar to Nuke in that respect, I think.
That's kind of crazy because it's a very big map.
Yeah. I think also,
I think the buildings are made of the same stuff as Ancient, right? Probably.
Yeah, that's true. I think also the way that Angels plant the bomb is always towards like the tail of the fish.
Yes.
We're gonna call it.
True.
So it's the furthest point back.
Well, G2 now. Or back out. It is on Manka again, and actually she's not playing that anchor position. She's taking it towards mid, so maybe on this map she just prefers to wield it. Locking down this one angle. About to be forced off it. Utility thrown on through. Has to fall on back. She's still kind of fighting around there though. And there's 2 players on the city side over towards A, so that's a bit of a change up, but they were smoked off. Actually, it's their smoke after they got contact. So now they get a reset.
Yeah, interesting conversation piece. Maybe we can get some insight later on. But now, Angels executing on towards B, and I love this for so many different reasons. The main one being that they've been conditioning G2 that they're always going to end A. However, this time, it's on the other end of the map. But Giuliano, wise to it. Rotation, an extra player here.
Plenty of bodies to defend. One of them falls though. Margot with a great kill. Kiosta now swings on out for a fight and she goes down as well. Giuliano on that rotate has to come up big and she's not able to connect. So Manka is just forced to walk away. Orb unable to strike. And Angels taking the lead. I think for the first time in this game.
That was so clean. Every single kill came without any response from G2. And despite there being 3 players on the site, each kill was taken individually. That was really cool to watch by the Angels.
Yeah, you gotta wonder about Anubis. Pretty spooky for G2 to be picking on into against this team. Manka being hunted here, just overwhelmed. Couple of nice kills from Krasi at the end, but it's just to pad her stats. So not only have Angels taken the lead, but they removed the AWP, which removes the incentive to force into this round as well, because if you hold onto that AWP, Krasi can easily drop one across, Manka can as well. I think you go for it there, but because it's not the case, Krasi just holds onto the M4, keeps some extra cash for the next AWP. Everyone else is kind of working with sticks and stones against rifles.
Yeah. I was really excited. I was really excited because your metaphors are good normally.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, we had the panda in the tree yesterday.
Oh yeah, that was a real hit.
Yeah, and then it was the sticks and stones versus rifles.
Sometimes you just got to say it how it is.
I'm here for it. Well, how it is honestly, G2 are entering the danger zone. I'm not just talking about B main, in which Ulis has got a kill. I just mean in general for the landscape of this game. Angels are honestly in cruise control. It feels like every round they're just going through the motions. And G2, they just need to respond.
An open highway for the Angels at the minute. Very few roadblocks along the way. Krasi is the only one that can present such difficulties in this round. She is in the right place at the moment. Angels are posturing for this site. Krasi swings on out, but Katherine had her locked in the whole time. zAAz might be tucked on into dark, unaccounted for, but, well, it's just a single little pistol. Surely it can't do anything too crazy here. Indeed, it cannot. Indeed, it cannot. Manka might catch something here. Back turned. All this, okay. USP does strike, and she gets no scoped for her troubles. Take my teammate down, I will blow you straight out of the server. Giuliano has an AK. I just want to get out of here with it.
I see what you were doing there with zAAZ and Dark. The little caster inflection where it's like, oh, maybe only a pistol, Giuliano, showing us how it's done. No, maybe not. I like it. I enjoy it.
You never know.
Yeah, it's good though because it's like hero and villain moments. It's like we're hyping zAAZ up here. It's like, oh, she could disrupt everything. And it doesn't happen. It's like, oh, when it does. Oh, when it does.
Oh, baby, when it does.
Oh.
All right, this is the round for G2. 11-13, they have everything they need. AWP, rifles, utility for days.
Oh, that volley got stuck in the wall. Anyway.
Scorched wall. Wouldn't happen in Source 2.
No, it wouldn't. Giuliano peppering down bullets through the smoke. Again, wouldn't really happen in CS2. There'd be little holes appearing.
Uh-oh, zAAZ has fallen. That was an aggressive peek out of B main. Ulis finds her. Angels, they don't have to force any issues at the moment. G2's given them the fight. Krasi is the one anchoring in A. She's sitting very passive. And yeah, sure, put your best player at the moment over on one side. The rest of you guys focus elsewhere. See if it has any success. Giuliano spots one out towards mid. Angels are not giving an inch, but they are taking miles.
It's going to be a B split. Look at Margot's position over towards Dark. She's actually just been able to get basically outside it for free. She can even just contact in. And that should be the play. Actually, the smokes are going to rain over a little bit earlier than I thought. But they are executing in. 30 seconds left. Angels have actually had a smoke thrown in their faces themselves. That's going to halt progress. It's going to be very chaotic in a couple of seconds.
Kiosa might have saved the round with that smoke because she was alone here. Giuliano was nowhere nearby, but they still have to fight out here. The rotations haven't yet come from G2. Krasi looking to maybe get a move on now, but the hit comes on in. Giuliano tucked on behind the obelisk, swings on out, but Katherine is there. It's all onto Kiosa, the only one remaining on the site. Gets the first frag and a second. Margot falls. A 3-on-3 ensures that Kiosa finds a third as well. Unfortunately, though, Krasi did go down, so it's all now onto Manka. A 1 versus 2 in a round, incredibly critical for G2. Looking on forward, sees the flash coming out from over Glyph, spots out Mio, strikes on through. Katherine now tucked on in towards jail. Manka, a good read on the situation, flashes herself in, but Katherine dodges, and Katherine strikes.
That's so close from G2. But the Angels, they stay cool, calm, and composed throughout every single roadblock that's being thrown in their way. Look at this from Kiosa. 5 seconds left. The smoke on the plant just allows it to go down. You can bet that if there isn't a smoke there, Kiosa just wins the round single-handedly. And while she thinks she's done enough, Katherine prevails, dodges both flashbangs. And that's going to force the first tactical timeout coming in very late for G2.
Oh boy, I tell you what, when that 3K comes on through, you think there's maybe an opportunity here for G2. And then the 1v2, Manka gets that first kill, knows where Katherine is, but it's such a hard fight to fight into, especially with an AWP, right? Like, it's such a hard angle to be clearing.
Yeah.
I think the flash didn't quite hit. I mean, again, you're going to telegraph your flash every time, so Katherine's in a good position to dodge it. Katherine on a bit of a roll here. I feel like she's gotten multi-kills in every round in the last, like, 5 or 6 rounds.
Yeah, her impact has been honestly incredible on this T side. It was Ulis on CT, and that's Katherine really stepping up on this attacking side. G2 investing again, but it is left wanting a little bit more. Utility not fully fleshed out. Famas on zAAz, really not ideal. And Krezi now reoccupies this A bomb site as she did last round.
Yeah, this was the importance of the prior round. G2 forced to force. No one wants to be forced to force. Forces you into a position you don't want to be in.
Yeah,
how many times can I force into that one? An A hit. Warming on up here. 4 players from the Angels making their way over. Krasi is here. Giuliano not far off.
It really needs to be Giuliano's take first contact here. Krasi can't swing this because she'll get caught off guard by Margot. Now, the Angels can try and overwhelm Giuliano. Backside not spotted with 1. Needs a multi-kill at the very least, and she delivers. Can she find any more? Giuliano, not quite. But Kiosa's chimed in for a couple, and Ulis is on this flank. It's a devastating headshot. Would need a couple more, but no, instead falls back, and you're right. There's no time at all. G2 just about hold on.
Barely. A good kill into Ulis after time. Not as instrumental as it could be because Angels have been on such a run. Katherine's at the money cap, so not going to be an issue for the rest of the game. G2 OYA. A lifeline extended. Giuliano, 2 huge kills on the site. Had to come up big there when a teammate went down over at Fountain. They stay alive. It's basically the same buy coming back out. A little bit more utility for them. So it's not going to be easy. Never feels like it is. That HE feels like it should have done a lot more damage, but they're ahead of it. They're putting pace on in mid. Ooh, Ulis almost stuck in the doors, but does make her way through. These smokes land at the perfect time to give them all of this space. Oh, Manka though. A good kill. Lines us up through the smoke.
I think this is all a second guess, but Kiosa here could really do the damage because Angels aren't looking. Back turned, deals with middle, and now can reset back in towards B, and that alleviates so much pressure.
A massive moment to push on through. Might well have sealed the fates of Angels into this round. They're going to regress into mid, where two of their teammates have just been caught falling back, so trying to maybe catch them off guard. Katherine gets a kill. Is brought low in the process, though. Not going to be as big a deal on the AWP, but it's going to make it harder in a 2-on-4. zAAz has one angle locked in, Manka the other. Tension's cleared, the Molotov thrown on forward. zAAz wins out the duel against Ayaka. Katherine left alone. AWP in hands, and a nice shot onto zAAZ, but needs to find so many more, and they have her locked on in. G2 on to 13.
And again, this is the worry that we said coming into the series before it even began. Angels struggle right at the tail end to close out games, and this is where your experience comes in. Giuliano, zAAZ can get on the mic and just say, it's okay. We're still in this. We are literally now in touching distance. The hard work of the comeback has now been achieved. We just need to keep on building. Money's wearing fit as well for Angels. This is actually this is the most critical round of the game.
Yeah, it probably determines the winner. Little update before the action takes place. Bigger Keeper did win against Team Spirit, 16-7. I was on the map pick of Spirit on Vertigo. Here comes a hit. Jumping over, Kiosa spots it. Drops the Incendiary, swinging on around. Good damage being done here. And Kiosa with 2 huge kills. The bomb dropped out in the open, and she's caught by Margot. Swinging out from Dark, so Mio can now make her way on through. Margot as well to join. A 3v3. Giuliano on a very well-timed flank, and Manka has dropped another. AWP strikes on through and gives him the advantage, but Katherine quick to bring it on back and swings out for another. Finding them everywhere she goes. Cressy now, a 1 versus 2, gets that first one. And it has to be Katherine again, and she's spotted, and Cressy takes it down.
And normally that's where you expect Katherine just to swing and take the peak, like she did on B main, like she accounted for with the flank. But no, instead, tried to grab the bomb and reset A, and that is to her detriment. Cressy, that is so fantastic, and shout out to Kiosa, who gets a huge multi-kill. I thought the round was done and dusted here, but Cressy in the 1 versus 2 keeps flying the flag for G2, and we are all square.
That's a couple of key clutches that I feel have gone the way of G2. Good stuff. In a round that, as you mentioned, the most important of the game, and we can see why for Angels, because they can't invest into it. First time they've been broken on this T side. It's Tech9's bit of armor, pepper throughout, some utility, and a low likelihood of securing map point. Playing for overtime.
Yeah. It's also now got to consider the mental. Look at how high you were up against G2. You made the comeback already. You were leading with so many rounds, and now you potentially have to fight back for overtime after losing so many in a row. But can Angels just flip the script, change the narrative right here, right now? Because it's a fast play in towards B. Flashbang worked perfectly. zAAZ only goes 1 for 1, but Giuliano steps in, and so too does Kiosa, as so often she does. That bomb site is anchored, lock and key. Angels shut out.
Yeah, players everywhere for G2. Mac is there to close things out, and 15 secured for G2. It felt out of their reach, but they dug their heels in, and they grinded it out. Angels were within touching distance of stealing this one away. Gotta remember where this was. I think that's how many in a row the Angels were on? Something like 8 rounds in a row. It felt like this was theirs. They grinded all the way back from think 12 to 5 or something along those lines, 12 to 6.
Yeah, it was 8 rounds in a row.
Insane stuff. G2 coming in clutch at the tail end now, 30 rounds, the minimum. OT Angel's only option, a place that they are not unfamiliar with so far at ESL Impact.
That is true. Again, though, I think that was them hitting map point first. I don't think on the broadcast stream, at least, we've seen Angels come back when they've been down, and they now need to try and hit overtime here. Molly's raining in over towards A. But the actual control, they're trying to work both dark and middle, and they're trying to use them as leverage, because whichever player gets a kill here is really going to determine the rotation paths for G2.
Yeah, look what they've done. All this utility thrown mid, the bit of contact out through A main has caused 3 players to be on the A side, deploying defensive smokes.
Yeah.
40 seconds left. You can see why they've made this call, but it's actually not the play. Angels are going back towards B. The lack of contact in the last 10, 15 seconds surely gives G2 pause. Make them concerned a little bit here, because this hit's coming.
But again, no information in middle, which is why zAAz has to stand and watch it. Now you start to get a little bit inquisitive. 15 seconds left. Margot, all the noise is coming over. Rotations need to scramble for G2. Kiosa falls, but not without getting 2 kills first. And zAAz on the site. It's fantastic. How do they hold on? zAAz with a hat trick. G2 deny overtime and take their map pick.
What an unbelievable display of resilience from G2 OYA. It looked like Angels were going to pull off an incredible comeback, but it's G2 that take the victory.